Welcome back to Metropole TV, The Smart Investor. This is Ali Khan Satchu, and thanks for joining us for the second half of the show. We've got a great second half ahead of us. I've got Snehar Shah, who's the General Manager of Azuri Technologies, here in the studio with us. And let me give you a quick bit of background. The reason I reached out to Snehar today was I saw this announcement flash across my screens. Solar pioneer Azuri Technologies announces $26 million equity investment. This is from Fortune 500 company Marubeni Corporation, big Japanese company, and other existing shareholders also participated. So this is a big deal for you guys, isn't it? You've been trying to land this for a while.
Absolutely, Ali Khan. I think we can officially now say that Azuri is no longer a startup.
Yes.
We've been going for the last over 5 years. We're one of the pioneers in bringing off-grid solar to Africa.
Just explain to people what off-grid solar is and the price point and what your bundle is.
Sure. So we are in the industry which is called off-grid solar or pay-as-you-go solar. As we know, in Africa, there's more than 600 million people who live without electricity, so that's more than half the population. So we target mainly the rural areas where people have been using kerosene and candles to light. But over the past 5 years, thanks to solar prices coming down, plus our ability to finance the customer so that they don't need to buy the system up front.
So they're not paying, are they paying anything up front?
In our case, no. We're probably the only company who doesn't charge upfront deposit, and the customer pays as little as 50 shillings a day over 18 months, and once they're paid off, then they own the system.
What are they getting for 50 bob?
For 50 bob, they get a 10-watt solar panel, they get 4 LED lights, they get a rechargeable radio, phone charger, and a torch. So basically, it's lighting in a box for a typical rural African home.
And would those lights work at night?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The panel charges during the day. The charge is stored in the battery, which is a lithium iron phosphate battery. It's very long lasting. It's not one of those car batteries which requires a lot of maintenance. And customers get up to 6 to 8 hours of light and radio and charging, mobile phone charging usage.
So if that's 50 bob, but I also saw that you've tied up with Zuku TV, so you've got a bundle which is 100 bob, which includes TV.
Yeah, so we're going up what we call the energy escalator. So people displaced the kerosene lamps by using individual solar lanterns. That was what was happening, say, 10 years ago. And then they were able to get the full lighting system like us. But the customers don't stop there in terms of their demands and their aspirations. So everybody wants TV, everybody wants entertainment. And why would people living in the rural areas be deprived of that? So we came out with a 24-inch TV with a 50-watt panel. And we realized that where our customers lived in the rural areas, there wasn't good terrestrial coverage. So Azuri was the first company in the world to introduce a fully integrated solar satellite TV, which we worked with Zuku, and we've expanded a lot. So that goes for 100 shillings a day or 99 shillings a day, and for that you get the TV, you get 60 channels of content, the satellite dish, all packaged.
Are you getting the internet?
Internet, not yet.
Yes.
We are working on that, and again, the technology is improving there. Of course, the mobile technology cannot reach to all the far-flung areas, so we're working on some exciting developments which we'll announce shortly.
So how many people are currently connected at 50 shillings and 100 shillings in Kenya, firstly, and then I saw a couple of months ago you've also gone into Nigeria. I was reading about another once was a company, Twiga Foods was a startup, and they're saying, Nigeria is like the holy grail for us because of the numbers. So give us an idea of how big the business is and how many touch points do you have with customers?
Sure. So Ali Khan, as you know, my background is in telecoms, and I spent 20 years in the telecoms industry.
The company just got sold, I saw.
Yes, Eaton Towers just got acquired by American Tower for one of very big, almost $2 billion deal.
Yeah.
Finally I saw the light, and I moved on to this industry, and I think this industry is at the tip of the iceberg, because where the mobile industry was 20 years ago and how mobile phones leapfrog landlines, we're seeing the same happening with solar, leapfrogging ever the need for rural homes to have need for grid electricity. So far, overall in Kenya, there's still less than 1 million homes who have been connected, and we own a significant market share of that. In Africa, so far, we've connected around 200,000 homes.
That's Azuri.
That's Azuri, and Kenya is our lion's market share. We are present, we supplied our products to 12 countries, but we are currently active in, I would say, the big 5. So in Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Zambia, and recently we entered Nigeria, where with the Vice President, we rolled out within a space of 6 months lighting to 20,000 homes. So that was our entry. But Kenya has always led the innovation with mobile money, and even in this industry.
And that's how people are paying you, right?
Exactly, through mobile money. So Nigeria, of course, the population is much bigger there, the opportunities are much bigger, and the electricity needs are also, despite Nigeria being a power producing country, because of the infrastructure really lacks. So even not only the rural areas, but even the urban areas, they're all using diesel generators.
That's right. So that's an entire market for you.
Exactly. So the thing that was lacking in Nigeria so far was the access to mobile money. And we actually solved that because we have an exclusive partnership with the biggest bank in Nigeria, which is First National Bank. And First National Bank are rolling out their own mobile money product, because in Nigeria, you need to be a bank in order to be able to do mobile money.
Okay.
So we have a very deep partnership with them, which we announced back in February, and we're now ramping up in Nigeria.
Let me go to a couple of other points. There have been a few failures in the solar business, haven't they? I mean, do you want to just talk us through that? What has happened to that competition? Were they too bullish, or what is your perspective on it?
Sure, Ali Khan, in any industry you will get successes and failures. And first of all, this industry is quite young, just over 5 years old, and there have been many players who've come in. We've announced a relatively modest sum of equity that we've raised, but there are other companies who've raised probably 10 times what we have. Yet in terms of volume, they are not so dissimilar to where we are. So we've always believed in profitable growth and good, efficient use of capital. But there have been some victims of some companies who have probably grown too fast and not really executed well. But that shouldn't be taken as a failure of the industry. But I think we're reaching a time where the winners are going to be separated from the
Darwinian moment, winners will win. Yeah. Now, you've also had a very sort of collaborative approach towards extending your services, right? I mean, I know you have a partnership with APA Insurance and also with Unilever. So tell us a little bit about the philosophy that informs those partnerships and what's happening.
Yeah, so not many people know this, but Azuri was actually born out of the University of Cambridge. We were incubated out of there. So that's where the technology comes from. We've also innovated a lot in the financing, and by raising low amount of equity, most of our financing is done through what we call structured debt. So we're able to do sort of back-to-back financing direct to the customer. But when it comes to execution and being able to execute in a cost-efficient way and also scale up very fast, there's no point us reinventing the wheel and bringing up our own distribution, which is very costly. It takes time. There are already many established players in Africa. So we see Azuri more as an aggregator. And we're able to partner with some of these multinational companies. So The Unilever deal was quite a big one that we announced during the visit of the Prime Minister of the UK, Theresa May, back in August. And we have quite a deep partnership with Unilever. Just to elaborate on that, Unilever have a very successful washing powder brand called Sunlight. And they wanted to leverage that and go beyond the FMCG deep into customers' homes. And they saw Azuri as a good fit to partner with them on that. So we're co-branding our product. We're able to ride on their distribution. They have 67,000 kiosks only in Kenya, which we're able to leverage. And we're also able to bundle products. So when our customers pay for the solar product on a weekly basis, they get an e-voucher which they can go and redeem at a Unilever kiosk and get free washing powder. So that creates a lot of customer loyalty.
So that's clever. And then what about APA insurance?
Yeah, so we studied the needs of our customers, and Azuri believes in satisfying those needs. So apart from access to lighting, access to entertainment, the big pain point of a lot of our rural customers is dealing with uncertainties. So health and death are their big concerns, and that's something that we've gone the extra mile to solve. So with APA, when our customer is paying, instead of paying 50 shillings a week, they pay as little as 55 shillings a week, and for that they get covered for hospitalization. And they also get funeral cover as well.
Oh wow! And that's just 5 shillings increment.
Exactly.
Wow. Yeah. So that is everyone taking that up as well?
Yeah. So most of our customers are signing up to that, and we are able to expand the distribution for APA because it's difficult for a big insurance company to go deep into the mass market and sell their products to individual consumers. But we have a distribution network out there, so they're able to upsell these kind of things to benefit the customers.
So how many years have you been in action now? When did you actually start up?
So Azuri started in 2012.
2012. So it's been 7 years.
7 years.
Yes.
And yeah,
so it's a significant milestone for you with Marubeni coming in with that kind of equity stake, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So just for the viewers, I don't know if they're aware about.
Because there are so many people out there who are thinking of startups and they would like to know what was the secret sauce that got you where you've got to.
So yeah, a lot of hard work and sweat, but I think innovation, because for example, in Kenya, there are as many as 23 pay-go companies. So I have another 22 competitors. But we always try to stay ahead of the game by having a very high-quality product. Our products, unlike many of our competitors, are not made out of China. They're designed in the UK, but they're actually made out of Malaysia. And we have a Swiss manufacturer who makes products for people like Bosch and Dyson. So again, believing in quality and delivering quality would be one of my advices. Innovation. We have artificial intelligence built into our systems.
Tell us what does that mean?
Yeah,
AI, everyone's throwing around AI. Right. What does it mean?
So the Azuri lighting system has probably got more technology sitting in a rural Kenyan home than what you may have in your home in the city, which is just flicking switches up and down, whereas ours have got sensors built in. So the way solar works is if it's a sunny day, then you get full brightness of light, good usage. But if it's a cloudy day like today, then typically
now at this weather, would you get solar power?
So with the Azuri system, you would get exactly the same number of hours of usage of light as you would do on a bright sunny day, because our system learns the usage patterns of the customers. It senses the weather patterns and it adjusts the brightness of the lights or the TV accordingly, so that if it's a cloudy day, the brightness of the light might be slightly dim, but the customer will still get 6 to 8 hours of usage. So yeah, we've built a lot of innovation to again benefit the consumers and stay ahead of the game. And then it's all about execution. And as you can see, by raising a little amount of capital, we're able to expand so much. So not if a startup or an innovator gets some funding, then you shouldn't go and blow it without thinking very.
Maybe some of your competitors did that.
Well, so that's why we are where we are.
Yeah. And I saw some very interesting data around children, and saying, you know, children previously were studying with kerosene light, and it was not, they were not being, it was not helping them to be effective, and that using your Pago solar, there was a significant improvement in performance of children. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. So even though we're not a NGO or a not-for-profit organization, I mean, we believe in being a social enterprise. So we measure ourselves not only from the financials, but in terms of the impact we're making.
So tell me about the impact side.
Yeah, so we've done a lot of research to see what benefits our systems have had to the customers, and we've proven that children who use lighting in their house from Azuri, they're able to do as much as 1 hour a day of more homework. That's on the lighting side, but now, of course, many of our customers have access to TV and the knowledge economy. So, you know, our channels include the documentaries, National Geographic, Discovery, the big news channels, BBC, Al Jazeera. Hopefully we can get your channel.
Oh, you better get us there tomorrow.
On there as well. So you can imagine, you know, people living in the rural areas. I mean, they do farming, so there are some times when they're not working, so they need to make themselves more productive. So why not? You know, they benefit from, say, financial knowledge from some of your programs.
Yeah, super. We'll definitely look into that. Now sketch out the future. You've got a $50 million or thereabouts market cap company. You're expanding in Africa. Is it an Africa pure play? Are we looking at, or would we go into these other markets?
Right. So far, Azuri has been very committed and focused on Africa, and you know, we've proven our track record here. And just for the viewers, Marubeni is one of the biggest conglomerates in the world.
In Japan, yeah.
It's a top 5 company within Japan. They have investments, of course, in the big power projects, as well as agriculture, FMCG, very wide-ranging. They're also present in more than 100 countries. By the way, they're a 160-year-old company, so you know, very well set up. And you know, their idea is to promote off-grid solar not only in Africa, but of course the rest of the emerging markets, especially Asia. So there are a lot of synergies that we will be exploiting there. But the capital that we've raised will go into further product development. You know, as I said, we're going up the energy escalator. We started with a 24-inch TV. Now we have a 32-inch TV. We're looking into providing internet and smartphones on a finance basis.
And aren't you also financing farmers' equipment as well?
Exactly. So we're now getting into productive use equipment. So we have a big pilot running currently in Uganda, where we're providing solar irrigation water pumps to farmers on a pay-as-you-go basis. And those are some of the products we'll also be expanding to the other markets as well. So yeah, there's been a lot of investment going into product development. We're also going to make our distribution much more efficient. You know, we want to automate the way our agents are working. By the way, we've created in the last 5 to 7 years more than 5,000 jobs in the continent.
Is there an opportunity for people who believe in this to come and get in touch with yourselves and look to distribute into hard to get to places?
Yes, absolutely. We're in fact now going into a lot of the remote regions. Next week is going to be quite exciting because the government of Kenya and the World Bank are...
Oh, this is your northern frontier.
Exactly. So they're putting in $150 million to support the 14 underserved counties. And again, Kenya is leading the pack because they've made off-grid solar as part of their national electrification strategy. So they're going to be launching that. So right from the remote areas to also other regions where we're working in, we're always looking for you know, good, hardworking agents to do something good for the communities they live in, but also make a good living for themselves out of Azuri.
I had the Nairobi Securities Exchange CEO here last week, and we were talking about, you know, how to encourage listings at the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Can you imagine a time when someone like Azuri would come to be listed at the stock exchange, for example? Could you?
So already something that there's some talk about is putting in place a green bond.
Yes.
So certainly we would be looking at raising capital locally, because at the moment it's quite costly.
Has anyone issued a green bond so far?
Not yet. But,
Not yet.
There
are a number of people in the offing.
That.
Kengen, I think, were looking at something against the Steam.
Exactly.
And then I've seen some other folks, but you would look to do that.
Absolutely. I mean, at the moment, it's operating this way is very costly for us, because we're raising our capital, be equity or debt, in hard currency, but we're supplying all the products locally, and we're collecting revenues in local currency.
So you've got a currency mismatch.
We are taking the foreign currency risk. We are not passing that risk to the customers, unlike Kenya Power. So,
Kenya Power is the FX pass-through, right?
Kenya Power, every month they're adjusting the price for not only forex, for inflation, for the change in oil price. So the customer bears all the grunt.
So the risk is deferred to the customer, whereas you are holding the risk, and so you're trying to de-risk that. Yeah. After the $26 million, do you need much capital right now?
So we hope not. We're financially very stable, and we are by end of this year heading towards profitability at a group level, and soon we're targeting to be cash flow positive. So we hope that this should be the last funding round ever for us.
And the last question is, you're in a number of different jurisdictions. I mean, there's this famous meme that Africa is not a country. Have you found different jurisdictions? Have you had to tinker with your model in order to capture those opportunities, or are the opportunities similar?
No, absolutely. We have had to tinker. Of course, Kenya has been the ripe environment to do business, very advanced in mobile money. The resources are very entrepreneurial, very energetic, unlike some other countries. So Kenya is always a good test bed. But based on our learnings here, we're now, as I said earlier, we're expanding to Nigeria, and there, because of the mobile money situation, we've had to adapt, and that's why our partnership with First National Bank. Similar, we are in Zambia, and again, Zambia mobile money is not so well penetrated, so we have partnered there with a South African company who's got these point of sale devices. So they have a network of about 7,000 agents who actually go and do the mobile money using these devices on behalf of the customer. And then we're also in Tanzania.
What's that been like?
So, I mean, the opportunity is massive, because there it's as big a population as Kenya, but even less electrified than Kenya. So the opportunity is massive, but the ability to operate there are some challenges. But we overcome that, because again we are working with local partners who again are well established, and they know how to operate the systems. So Tanzania is also another market where, unlike there are some other companies who have actually pulled out of the market, but we are leveraging that opportunity.
Final question: is your business really a data game? That at the end of the day, you own the pipe to the household, and therefore the opportunity is not just about solar light, it's about understanding the family. You could be delivering edutech at some point, you could be delivering all kinds of things down that pipe. Is that the correct way to read your business?
Yeah, in fact, our business is actually a few businesses in one. On one side, we're a solar company, providing solar energy. On another side, we are leveraging a lot of technology. On the other side, we are doing a lot of distribution. Of course, we are actually a microfinance house, but overriding all that is actually data. So we both are able to leverage data out there. So, for example, to be able to provide well-priced products to our consumers who are paying us over time, we would really benefit from having their credit profiles. And with having a better credit profile, we're able to then again de-risk that and give a better deal to the customer. So we would like to work with a lot of the credit reference bureaus.
So I'll find you the solution to that question
Yeah.
by tomorrow morning.
Absolutely.
Yes,
that would be
yes.
great.
So that's where we've originated from, is actually the Credit
Fantastic.
Reference Bureau.
Right. But on the other end, we are collecting a lot of data, which we can then
also
pass on to the data consumers. So, for example, Unilever, they understand how the distributor network works, but they don't have the insights of the consumers like we do. And we were collecting that data from all different points. Our distributors here each have roughly a 100-seat call center. So they're in touch with the customers almost 24/7, and again collecting a lot of data. We can study our customers' payment patterns. This is where some of the insurance companies can also benefit, because they can understand some of the income levels of customers. On the agriculture side, we're able to, through the farmers, look at the supply chain and the harvest seasons, and again, that data can then be supplied to some other people within the agri value chain. So yeah, it is. The whole world is becoming a data game.
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah. Snehar Shah, General Manager, Azuri Technologies East Africa. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. Congratulations on this milestone capital raise, and wishing you a very bright future.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. That was Metropole TV. That was The Smart Investor. I am Ali Khan Sachu, and in the studio with us today we had Snehar Shah, just off the back of a capital raise of $26 million, an incredibly successful pay-go solar company, Azuri Technologies. And thank you very much. You will be, I'm sure, jumping hoops, because it's a holiday tomorrow and we're going to take the day off as well as you. And we'll see you back here on Thursday. Thank you for watching Metropole TV.